Hi guys, it's Lily and the Postmodern Mom. Welcome to my channel. I am an American living in the UK and I am a traditional housewife. This is a makeup monologue and today I'm going to talk about letting the man take the lead. Someone on Twitter posted a thing about if you saw or met your 16-year-old self and you had to give them one piece of advice, what would you give them? And I didn't respond to that actually because I was just thinking about it, and I was thinking I would probably have told myself that it is good to have the man lead. And I really shouldn't say let, because it's not that we as women need to let, quote unquote, let men lead, but the fact is that they should lead and we should not resent men for leading. Obviously, the problem of ability does come into play. You think, oh, what if the men are unable, they're not very caring, or they're not very smart, they're not intelligent, you know, why should we let them lead, or why should they lead? Why can't it be me, a woman? Why can't I be the leader, right? And we live in a very egalitarian society, or equal society, where men and women are seen as no different in any way, which is kind of odd to me, because we clearly are different in many ways. I'm putting this one on. But as a traditional housewife, I think if I told myself, my 16-year-old self, that men should lead and that's a good thing, I think it would have prevented a lot of stress in my life, lots of arguing in the beginning of my marriage with Felipe, because I did come to our marriage with the idea that the person who leads the relationship is the one who wins, the one who is more intelligent, or the one who makes the best decision, or I don't know, or even I had this pie in the sky idea that it's not who always wins or who doesn't win. It's the fact that, oh, in each case-to-case basis, as long as you can convince the other person to do it that certain way, then that's the way it should go. And so in our marriage, a lot of the time in the first 2 or 3 years, we're just us like arguing about small details. Oh, should we buy this item, that item, or in an airport, oh, this is the drop-off, this is the place that we should park, like silly little things like that. I was constantly trying to win the arguments and express what I think was the best or the smartest way or the most efficient driving, direction. Yes? Okay. And it took me a while to realize that when I argue like that and I get so riled up because I want my way, I want to understand that we made the best decision, even if it wasn't my decision that we ended up going with, I wanted to feel comfortable, I wanted to be able to sign off on it. And honestly, that's a really feminist point of view that has been ingrained in our society, in our minds. We're just so unable to escape that kind of mindset nowadays. So I would have told myself that at 16, but at the same time, I don't know if I would have even believed myself. I think I would have just thought that was a bit crazy, or something crazy happens to me between the age of 16 and my current age. But no, in fact, I think at 16, I was being brainwashed by the school that I attended, by the influences I had around me, the friends that many of them came from broken families, where, I don't know, their parents were separated due to things like infidelity or sexual orientation, I don't know. And, or even with the ones that were intact, the families were intact, the parents were together, the mother would often be the one that just kind of ran the show and made all the decisions and belittled her husband, belittled the father in front of the children. Like, that kind of thing was very, and probably still is today, very common. So my idea was that, you know, the man doesn't deserve any more respect and authority than the woman, and whoever flexes, whoever has the better ability to think or the higher earning power should be the one who wins out. And even though Felipe, when we got married, made more money than I did and had a higher education degree, as a doctorate, I still thought that in the day-to-day life, whoever makes the best argument for something should win. And I'm not saying to women that you should never argue or you should never bring up advice or your opinion on things. I'm just saying that it would make your life a lot easier if you realize that your input is there as advice to be taken, and if it's not taken, then you don't have to fight it. You don't have to win it. It's okay to let go and let the man lead. In fact, it's healthy and good for that marriage relationship, and it's good for the children to see a structure of authority and respect. I just think that these days, go ahead, upstairs. Or you want to go down here?
Yeah.
Go ahead, you can go down here. Okay, go upstairs. Go ahead. Just don't wake up your brother, please. So why is it good? Why is it good for the man to lead? Well, there is something innately, that's innate in the structure of man, probably driven by testosterone, so biological differences, that men respond better to respect and obedience than they do words of just emotional lovey-dovey. Oh yes, I love you, I think that you're amazing. You know, those words are great, but at the same time, it doesn't make a man respond and take ownership of his family and of his role as father. It's just a little bit different between women, who do respond a lot better to emotional shows of love and appreciation, and it doesn't really bother me that much if my command or my order isn't heeded. It only bothered me because I was being completely selfish, and I was taught the lie that women should be regarded highly as, in fact, higher, equal or higher than men in their wisdom and their decision making. So I had a false understanding of myself, and I think that I've come to know myself better as a woman. And in general, when I see women who really struggle in their marriages because they feel like their husbands never listen to them, they're always nagging their husbands, or that they don't get their way, or they think their husbands are acting very childish because they don't pick up after themselves at home or something like that. Yeah, that might be the case that their husband doesn't do certain things, but I'm sure you married him for a reason, and it's easy, I think, for a lot of modern women to forget about those years of the excitement of finding love and feeling appreciated and respected. And I think that's something that as traditional wives we work on and we do with our husbands. We try and give them encouragement and show him respect and honor by having him be the leader. And I think that's preferred. I think men prefer to lead, and I think they're better fit to lead because they are a bit less emotionally driven. Like I am more emotionally driven. And I think it's okay and a good thing and a positive thing for women to be emotionally driven and be feminine in that way. So ladies, wives, it's gonna help you in your marriage if most of the time, your husband makes the decision and you may not agree with it, you can give him your input. But if he puts his foot down and says, you know, that's my decision, I want to go with this house, or I want to change my job, I'm going to quit my job. You can say, oh, I'm a little bit concerned about this and that, but once he says, I made that decision, you respect that, and it will really help that marriage relationship that he knows that you can trust him, you can trust his decisions, and it also gives him a greater feeling of ownership and responsibility for his family and his family's direction. If you say, you know, this is your family, so I'm going to support you in your decision, even if I don't feel good about it, or I feel scared about it, or etc. It's really hard, I think, for non-Christian women to do this, mainly because I don't know who you would turn to, but myself, I would pray a lot and ask God to help me in finding peace and comfort in uncertain times. You know, when Felipe decided that we were moving to the UK, I wasn't super on board. Like, I had lots of friends and family and a great church that we were attending, and I didn't feel like I wanted to leave, but at the same time, I knew that I had to show him the respect and trust that he deserves. And now here we are, and we're sharing our lives with you on this channel, which was also Felipe's idea. And I feel like, you know, if I didn't trust him, I didn't let him lead in our family, it would have caused problems in our marriage relationship, and we wouldn't have had all of these amazing opportunities that we have experienced today, with having children here, and also our channel and our brand is growing. I think I need to see an eyebrow specialist because my eyebrows are not doing the right thing.
Mom, someone just rang.
Okay. Oh, they look pretty bad, my eyebrows. I'm gonna try and pluck them a little bit to clean them up, but they don't look so good. I've never had my eyebrows done professionally at all, ever. So I don't know if, like, after this lockdown, I should give it a try. Alright, I'm gonna put some wings on. I kill black wings.
Oh!
You okay?
Yeah. What is it called? Wings. What? Wings?
I don't know, they kind of look like wings, don't you think?
Well, when you put it on your eyes, it does. Hiya, panto. No, it's not.
Kind of like one, but it's not a pencil, no.
Oh.
Okay, so not only, I think, is it good for your relationship with your husband to be better by letting him lead, but I think it also shows an example for the children that you may have in your home for authority and respecting authority. It's great to demonstrate to them what authority is, because ultimately we all have an authority, which is God. God is the ultimate authority, and we need to obey his word. We need to do what his word says. And if we don't, there are consequences. There is hell, there is heaven. And if we don't obey his word, then there is a consequence. So I think if we are raising our children in a context where they never see any consequences, or they don't see respect for a man, then they are not going to learn that in their own way somehow. It's going to be much harder when they're older and they're learning for the first time, abiding by the law, and also for their own relationships in the future. So they need to see it modeled in their everyday life, and I think that's a good thing for you guys who are traditional out there. So this is it's a good color. It's just not, what is it called, like matte, it's not a matte lip liquid, it's a lipstick. Which I don't wear very often, lipsticks, but this one's a good color.
It looks brown. Mommy, it looks brown.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's a good color?
Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below and let me know other topics you'd like me to talk about. Thanks so much for watching. Bye! I think there's such a joy in keeping a good home, in watching your children grow up, in cooking and cleaning and supporting your husband.